N5BE, W5ABI. How do you copy, Lee?
W5ABI, W5X, I hear you just fine here in Texas.
Report, somebody on frequency with about a 15 over 9 signal here making noises on the frequency. So that's what I heard here, over.
Yeah, I hear him on the SCR. I don't hear him direct.
Okay, hopefully he won't interfere with the net. N5BE, W5ABI, standing by for net.
K4YDB, K4YDB, copy WA6LJS.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, John. You're a S9 Plus, S9 Plus. Great signal here. How many?
Yeah, you're 15 over. I thought I'd give it a try and see if I could hear you, because the last couple days in the beginning I was having trouble. But yeah, you're a good 15 over. Great. All right, I'll be standing by WA6LJS.
WA6LJS, W5ABI. 10 over this morning, John.
Yeah, you're about the same, Joe. W5ABI, WA6LJS. Good signal.
Yeah, thanks for the report. W5ABI, standing by for net.
they'll be in about 2 minutes. Or no, about 3 minutes. Thank you for asking. WA60JS. 7-3. Have a good one.
Kilo 6 Zulu Mike Lima. Good morning, Harold. I hear you. We'll put you on. Make sure you're on the list. W5OG.
YouTube. Go to K4YDB. Website. airportflyers.org. airportflyers.org. There's information about our members. And if you have small contracts,
Yeah, I believe it was Alpha Delta 9 Delta Romeo.
WA60JS relaying for net control. We're looking for check-ins, either members or visitors. Call now. Now, all quiet on the West Coast. Back to you, Jack.
Yeah, I'll be glad to, Jack. This is Whiskey 5, Oscar Golf, relaying for net control, and we're taking additional check-ins. Check-ins for the Air Force's Flyers Club net. Members or guests, call now. Yeah, all quiet here in the central part of the country, Jack, back to net.
Yeah, KM4CXN5B. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, my question bank is empty, so I came up with this one. It's very simple. It's a yes or no answer. So we'll make it easy for a Sunday. So here's the question. Did the two atomic bombs force Japan to surrender unconditionally? Yes or no? There's the question again. That the two atomic bombs forced Japan to surrender unconditionally? Yes or no? That's today's question, Jack. Back to you.
Okay, this guy gets
K4YDB, this is WA6LJS. Very good, Jack. Good morning to the net. We're about 60 degrees here, but kind of socked in a little bit of a marine front, but it's burning out real quick. Let me see. The answer to the question: did the two atomic bombs force Japan to surrender? Yeah, I think they did, but I don't know if it was the sole reason. I think there was some other factors that influenced that, but I'm going to have to say yes. The answer is yes, but I do think there was some other reasons. So 73s, I've got to get out of here. Everybody have a good net, and we'll catch you tomorrow. K4YDB, WA6LJS. Yeah, the amp's on.
Good morning, Jack, and all the flyers visiting on the net. Beautiful morning again here in Nebraska. It's probably about 65 degrees right now, honestly up to about 80. It should be a really nice day. As to the question, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say, I'm sure it played a part in it, but I'm going to say there was other events that probably controlled that, and it was probably the threat of war. So, a couple years ago on NPR, locally, that I'm hearing everybody else. So, anyway, I will be one and done. I'm ready to shout out to Austin, so have fun with them. So 7-3s, everybody out and stick around. Have a great day. K0OPE back to K4YDB.
Well, good morning, Jack. This is K4YDB out here in Nevada. And although the propagation is good propagation, propagators on lead time, it certainly is nothing like it was yesterday. John was, I'm picking up everybody on the U-pilot team. So I touched my qualified against that. Really close. Other than John lifted me out of the chair off the U-pilot. Yeah, it sounds like you don't have your amplifier on this morning. So, yeah, it's just a sign probably that propagation has not awoken yet out here in the west. Interesting question that you asked, that Lee asked. Did the two atomic bombs lead to unconditional surrender by the Japanese? And I've got to say, no, it did not. Because one of the conditions that we demanded in unconditional surrender was that the emperor was stepped down, and Japan kept the emperor remained seated. So I know there was others, I think one in particular that would come to mind. My answer is no. So K4CAX, CF7, Eagle Oak.
Let me turn the SDR down there. I don't know what went on, Jack. Your signal has fell down. I mean, I've even got the beam pointed at you. I'm on the vertical right now. But to answer that question, Lee put out there, I'd say no. The bombs, they were disgusting surrender. The bombs kind of forced their hand into surrender. They were surrendering prior to the bombs being dropped. So I would say no is my answer. And it is warming up here. I turned the air conditioner off, and we are warming up in here. It's about 85 degrees, but the humidity, we're supposed to get rain. We're surrounded by rain, but we don't have it right now. And Brian, I don't know, I'll catch you over on Echo Link, but I did find my two potentiometers there for Bob. So, but I'm just looking in the doggone EX magazine. I thought I had an old MFJ magazine here for points. I'm going to still be digging, see what the price was on them things, but I'm surprised that DX Engineering don't even have listed, but anyway, that's my answer, and I'm going to stick to it. No. And back to you, Cap. Appreciate it. W5PIX, full birdie seconds.
Okay, understood. That's the answer. So, let's see, that Roger, question bank versus me.
KM4CAXN5B. Good morning, Jack, and well, I'm glad you're feeling better. And good morning to all the flyers on the net this morning and the visitors. I just wanted to say we can talk about this at the when we get down to giving the answer. And I learned some things during my perusal of history, and I'll just leave it at that. And we'll talk about that. I think in some quarters people will be very upset and non-believing, but there's some surprises out there. So we'll talk about that. Busy day today and tomorrow for me. I'm doing stuffed scallops for dinner. I know it's not a Texas dish, but I'm from New Hampshire, so I can do it. And then tonight I'm putting on a brisket for a 14-hour smoke, and I'll serve that to the family tomorrow. So I'm going to be busy, and but I look forward to the net tomorrow. I'm sure Bob is stewing up a really good question for us, and I'm looking forward to that. All right. We'll see you when it's time to give the answer. KM4CAXN5B.
Yeah, good morning, Jack. KM4CAX and the net. This is WB5DRI down here in San Antonio. Good morning to all on the net. It's going to be a little bit more reasonable day down here. We're about 83 right now. I think our low is about 75, and it's only going to be about 92 degrees for the high here in San Antonio today, so we'll take it. It's some nice moderating temperatures, and it really is wonderful for us down here. Because normally we can have 100-degree temperatures for numerous days in a row, and that hasn't happened this summer, so it's been really wonderful. Anyway, good to hear everybody. The conditions are not quite as good today as they were yesterday, I think, but anyway, it's good to hear everybody. Great question there, Lee. Very interesting about Japan and the little boy and fat boy, or what is it, fat boy and little boy and fat man, or whatever it was, the two nuclear weapons that were, or atomic bombs that were dropped. Yeah, I know that the carpet bombing of Tokyo, they used incendiary bombs and along with regular bombs, and they just completely leveled the cities in Japan with the B-29s, along with the A bombs there. So I'm gonna say no. I think there was the threat of more atomic bombs. I think that Mike hit that pretty close to the mark there. Anyway, that's my answer. I'm going to say no and see how that comes out, Jack and Lee. But thanks for getting us all in there this morning. Let me turn it back and back to you. And I think Bob is up next. It's good to have our commander back in there with us today. KM4CAX, WB5DRI, back to net. Good morning, everybody.
Okay, Brian, your answer is negative.
KM4CAX, K1BOB. Good morning, Jack, and all the flyers here. Yeah, I took a leave of absence yesterday. I think I got some bad food. Long story. Lynn went because we got to bring back some subs yesterday, stopping at Jimmy John's, and she's always trying to get a good deal, and by God, she came back with, I don't know, day-old subs, and I don't know, I thought there was something wrong with it. I ate most of it, and I felt really bad yesterday evening and through the morning, but I'm all okay now. I'm 100%. So I'm not going to tell. That's not a medical issue. That was a temporary condition. So anyway, good question. Yeah, I've done a lot of research on this. I even had an upcoming question here. I was going to talk about one of the famous generals who used to be a member of this club. I won't give away the name, but you probably know who it is. His name starts with Curtis. He was in a lot of bombing in World War II. I was trying to determine how much responsibility should be given to him. It's not a funny subject of how many people were killed in fire bombings in Germany, Dresden, and also Japan. He did the same thing. And also had the nukes coming in. Well, yeah, they dropped two, and no, it did not. There was a long pregnant silence for a few weeks before Japan responded. I think they wanted to keep some of their government infrastructure in place, like their what would be their Republicans and Democrats, their houses there. They wanted to keep those intact, I think, and they also, I think the biggest one, which has already been named, is they did not want to let go of their leader. So the authorities sort of propped that over for a bit and go, yeah, it might be a good thing to keep a stabilizing force in Japan during the rebuild. And we did quite a rebuild with them and made them what they are today, one of the best countries in the world as far as production and standards and that sort of thing. We taught them quality standards in manufacturing. Hence all the great cars that come out with Toyotas, Hondas. Can't dispute them. So my answer is no, it did not stop it. And yeah, to add on to that, I think Curtis LeMay was ready to go with more bombing of the cities without a doubt. I think he had some loaded up already, ready to go. If he got the word it was okay to continue bombing, to kind of close the curtain. And also they had, I mentioned that the other day, they had a third bomb which was ready to go. A third bomb, a little man, I think, ready to go to do it again if they had to drop another one to put an end cap on it. So my answer is no. Good question, Lee. I enjoyed that. And I was just looking actually over some of the data. I got to make a question for tomorrow, but it's going to be about my favorite airplane, but I did have a note on here. So I was trying to find out how many people were killed in the Japan firebombing, and it was 80 to 100,000. And, well, this was going to be one of my questions, so I'll just say it now since we're on the subject. The nuke bombs, the two nuke bombs, they figured killed between 150 and 246,000 people. So the nuke bombs did quite a more unfortunate damage that was required to end the war. K4YDB, back to you, Jack. Right net.
Okay, Bob.
Yeah, KM4CAX W5ABI. Good morning, Jack, and the rest of the flyers. Clear blue skies today here, sunny. Right now it's 70, supposed to go up to 87, so we're getting a little taste of fall coming in here. So after a very hot summer. So anyhow, other than that, not much going on here. Not going anywhere for Labor Day. Just kind of sitting home and watch a few Netflix and get something done around here. Anyhow, my answer to the question is also no. I think it might have hastened them to surrender, but it wasn't the prime reason. So anyhow, we'll be here at the bottom. Back to you, Jack. KM4CAX W5ABI.
Yeah, thank you, Jack. Good morning to you and everyone on the net. Dale, W5OG. Hold on a second. Turn that down a bit. And, yeah, the answer, I think, is, I know that the Emperor stayed on the throne, so that's, that was certainly a condition. But I think, the unconditional part was that the Allies would be in complete control. And that included everything, including the Japanese diet, which I know that they, I got over there in 52 as a young dependent, and, that was not that far after the war. And it was very interesting. The relationship with the Japanese was very interesting, even back then, even as late as 7 years after the surrender. We did occupy the country completely. And then, as you know, we even owned Okinawa and kept it up until the 70s, and gave it back. I remember Dad used to say, tell the Japanese we'll give Okinawa back when Russia gives the northern islands back. I know them well, and I can't say the name. And naturally, since I started discussing this. Oh, me. Anyway, the Russians, of course, never did give back the northern islands. Let's see, what else can I comment on with that? I have been to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, both of them. And I do know that the devastation was incredible. And, I've seen that picture that many of you probably have of the, and I believe it's a picture of like Tokyo, for example, after the war. And then today, and then it shows a picture of Detroit, Michigan, back then after the war, and all of its glory. And then today, it looks like it's a war-ravaged city. So, parts of it at least. The downtown area of Detroit is still fine. But it's a very interesting picture. The contrast is, unmistakable. You get the point right quick. And I guess that's it from here. But anyway, I guess the response would be no. But An unconditional no. With conditions, I suppose. I do know that the Americans were very much in control, although the emperor stayed on his throne. So very interesting. And I'm sure that Lee will have some more information for us, so we'll all stay tuned. Back to net, and I'll be here to the bottom today, Jack, at W5OG.
KM4CAX, K4YDB. Well, good morning, Jack. Morning to all the flyers out there and the visitors. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Right now, it's currently here 82 degrees. Supposed to get up in the mid 90s again today, but so far, everything has been just staying in the 80s. We haven't had any sunshine at all. We're supposed to have rain move in this afternoon, more thunderstorms. So anyway, I did get out this morning and get my morning walk done, but it was hot and muggy outside. But anyway, I got it done. Right now I'm just going to tinker around the house. I got a lot, clean the floors and do different things. Get ready. I got some company rolling in here next week. So I got to get ready for all that. And I got several doctor's appointments. Two of them, Monday and Tuesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday. Anyway, something like that. I got to look them up because they're both right there at the same time, and they're at the different places. So right now, conditions have been up and down for everybody all morning, except for Dale. Man, Dale is just booming in here. Brian was coming in pretty good. I think it was Brian. Yeah, it was Brian. And he had a good 9 signal in here, and also he faded down and he came back up. But it's just been an up and down morning. That's all that's going on over here. As far as the question goes, of course I'm going to go with no. My answer is no. So. Anyway, I'll turn it back to you, Jack. KM4CAX, K4YDB. I am back to net.
Hey, Chris. Reporting to you. Let's go to our visitor, Alpha Delta 9 Delta Romeo Dennis. Good morning again. Okay, did you have answers to the question? Okay. Let's go to one of our signatures. Show Alpha November 7th, Marriott Tango, Juliet, Nevada. Martin, Nevada. Good morning. November 7th, Juliet, Tango, Juliet, Nevada. Are you there?
Jack, he just showed up as he checked out on the in window.
Okay, how about the next one?
He's still showing online.
Okay, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Quebec Mike, Quebec, Riley in Missouri. Good morning. Anybody read this?
I got nothing direct. I got my antenna pointer right there.
Let's go to Steve Mike. Good morning, Steve Mike, WW5ENC.
KM4CAX, WW5ENZ. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I was a little late checking in today. I was climbing the pole there. I was on top of the antenna tower. The neighbor's tree was kind of growing over it or something. He's up on the hill above us, and so I cut down the branch, and I misjudged it, and it actually clipped the edge of the hex beam, and it bent that thing over about, oh man, it was like 45 degrees, and then I was going, whoa man, that's not going to work. So I shoot it up and climbed the tower and took my truck and I put it in the backyard and ran the winch up there, and if you can imagine this in your mind, and I tied it just above the bend, and I gave her I winched it in until it was straight, and then I went up there and tightened all the bolts. But I'm not really moving it until I'm really going to have to fix this, more permanently. So but I don't have time to do that today. I think I'm going to get another 10-foot section, and then I'm going to bring the tower down, and then put the 10-foot section on top, and then cut the pole in half. So it's just like a Dale and we're talking a while back. Too much of a leverage arm there, it causes it to bend easy. So what I'm going to do is do that, but I don't want to lower it, just by cutting the pole, because that'll lose, that'll take off about, 6-8 feet. Well, I think I'll put another 10-foot piece in, and of course that requires me to lower the pole. Anyway, it sounds like my 2 minutes is up. Now I got to go out and chainsaw that branch I cut out, and it almost screwed me up. But I've got it pointed there southwest, so if you hear me good today, you'll hear me good for a long time, because I'm not going to turn it until I get that pole down. So anyway, take care, everybody. But I'll be here to the bottom, and let's see, I did not hear the question, and I went to the streaming, but I don't think Charlie got a copy of it either. So anyway, I guess I'll stick with no, and we'll hang in there, see how that goes. Okay, this is WW5ENZ turning this back to KM4CAX.
Okay, so keep like,
Yeah, will do. KQ4HJN, you're up, Steve, for the net W5OG relay. He's talking. Okay, fine, Steve. I hear you well here, W5OG. Steve says he thinks he didn't hear all the question, but he says the answer is no, provisionally, I suppose. Back to net, W5OG.
Yeah, KM4CAX N5BE. First, I want to apologize. I wanted to have my source material right in front of me when I gave this answer. There was an incredibly well-researched book by a British author, and I'm sorry I don't have it here, but when I do get it back on the shack, I'll go ahead and post it on the AIM window if anyone's interested in it. It's a incredibly well-researched document. This guy did the research. He had grants to do the research at the Truman Library, at various libraries in the United States, at the U.S. National Archives, and the Japanese Archives. So this book, in his research, debunked a lot of bad history that was repeated by lazy historians. That's the only way I can report on it. A lot of lazy history out there. So, did the Japanese surrender unconditionally because of the 2 atomic bombs dropped? Well, the answer is no. So the next question is, why did they surrender? What made them surrender? So, 2 bombs get dropped. Truman is talking to his staff, saying, what in the world is it going to take to get these people to surrender? Because he had made the decision in July of 45 to not invade Japan. He could not stand the political pressure of all of those deaths after what happened at Iwo Jima and Okinawa. It would have been political suicide. So the decision was made, we're just going to strangle the island. Now, the flip side of this is the Japanese military still had most of their ground army intact in China, but they had no means of getting it to the mainland because most of the shipping had been sunk and they didn't have much fuel. But the military dug their heels in. The military side of the equation considered the 2 atomic bombs an extension of the firebombing campaign. Part of that was confusion. part of that was they were hardliners. They didn't want to surrender. So there was a move made to contact the Japanese, probably through the Swiss. I don't remember off the top of my head. What's it going to take for you guys to surrender? And they came back and said, if we can keep the emperor, I'm paraphrasing, if we can keep the emperor, we'll surrender. So that was a condition. So the Japanese did not unconditionally surrender. But what was the big factor that forced them to surrender? It was the Soviet Union. They were starting to gobble up the Northern Islands, as Mike pointed out, and as Dale pointed out, and they wanted that stopped, and that frightened the pajamas off of them. They wanted that stopped because they could see their country disappearing. So they raised their hands, said, we got the emperor, we'll go ahead and sign. So that's the backstory behind it. There's more to it, but fascinating story on debunking what we all thought we knew. And by the way, one other thing, these quotes of 1 million casualties, that came after the war from the Secretary of State during an interview. That was never said during the war. So you have to assume that we would have 100% casualties invading Japan, which was just crazy. But so you had a bunch of politicians covering their rear ends, defending their positions after the war. So the beat goes on, right? So that's today's story. And thanks, Jack. And I'm sorry I didn't have one in the bank anymore, but I pulled this one out here for you. K4YDB N5B, and I'll save 73.
Okay, Lee, thanks again. Good to have Andrew and that loss. Okay, Jack. Yeah, good. What's that today under lousy propagation conditions? And interesting explanation on that. I remember when we were in emails a few days ago, I was looking up there was beforehand. As I recall, they were looking at 1 million fatalities and 5 million casualties if we invaded Japan. And even after dropping the 2 atomic bombs, the Japanese military still did not want to surrender. They were prepared to fight to the last. It's interesting the way they came in through the back door. Anyway, 73 is everybody. Have a fantastic day. We'll try this again tomorrow. K4CAX, KF7TJ, 73X. Okay, thank you, 73. Have a great week ahead. Break. Uncle Chris, W5CIX, 73. W5CIX, Uncle Chris there. Okay, Jack, K4CAX, WB5, you're right. Well, great dad, Jack, and Lee, great question. I think that's one of the best explanations of the Japanese surrender that I've heard ever, probably. But that history of that is some fascinating stuff. And what we did for Japan after the war was the best thing that could have ever happened to them, with MacArthur being in charge over there, administering Japan. Anyway, 73s, everybody. Everybody have a great day, and we'll look to talk to you maybe on Echo Lane. Back to you, Jack. K4CAX, WB5DRI. Back to net. Good day, everybody. Okay, Brian. 73. right. K1BLB,
Okay, Jack, KM4CAX, K1BLB in the net, and thank you, Leon, for a nice, interesting question. I've read a lot about that stuff, and I've YouTubed it to death. So I'll have something coming up in the future, but not tomorrow. It'll be, you know what it'll be tomorrow. So this is K1BOB. All's well here, except we're in fire damage and supposed to get lightning storms tonight. Believe that after everything that's happened up here. We still have fire burning north of me up at Stanley. They closed down Stanley. They evacuated the town of Stanley. That's the north end of the Sawtooth Mountain wilderness area. Just a beautiful place with lakes, and they have had fire burn right down to the lake, Stanley Lake and Redfish Lake. So it's a pretty ugly mess. I don't know if I want to drive up there again. Pray for the families up there. They don't all lose their homes. It's a kind of a small community, but it's a crossroads to the north end of the Sawtooth. Gets a lot of tourists, but not now. The road's closed down. On that good thought, this is K1BOB, and good to hear everybody this morning. I'll send it back to net control. Nice job, Jack. Charlie, thank you very much for running the YouTube. It seems to run faster without the extra stuff running. K1BOB, back to you, Jack.
Yeah, KM4CAX, W5ABI. Good net all around. Only had to use the SDR once or twice. And thanks for running the net. 73's all the flyers. KM4CAX, W5ABI.
Yeah, fine, Jack. Good net. Enjoyed the topic. Interesting. It always is an interesting subject. No question. But that the atomic bombs and the decision to use those, that was a big decision for Truman, and no doubt that he saved countless lives. And let's see, MacArthur's as the conquering hero, he really played that part well. I got this popping going on, and it's strange. It's bothering me. I don't know what it is that's happening in the station here. Anyway, I know that the Japanese would line the streets when he would go to work in the mornings and bow as he drove by. So he was a figure that for the time, I think, and he was instrumental in getting their diet reestablished and getting them back to control their government, and but it stayed under the authority of the U.S. for a long time. And we did do much to rebuild that country, and of course also Germany. Anyway, 7-3, everybody have a great day. Enjoyed the question there, Lee. Thank you for that. And we'll maybe see you this afternoon on the roundtable. W5OG, back to you, Jack.
KM4CAX, K4YDB. Well, Jack, I'm still only copying you on the SDR. I can tell you're in over here. I can barely pull you out. Anyway, it was a good question. It was an interesting net. I enjoyed it. Anyway, 73s, everybody. Everybody, have a good day. We will try this again tomorrow. Oh, by the way, I'm going to need a question for Thursday, I think. Anyways, K4YDB, back to net.
Sergeant tomorrow. Chris, K4YDB, check with you, Roswell. Delta Romeo, Kilo Mike, Charlie Alpha X-Ray, 730. Okay, let's go to WW5ENG 73.
Okay, KM4CAX, WW5ENZ. Yeah, it's a great net and very interesting stuff. I didn't really hear the question. I came in late, but I love the answer. It was interesting stuff, and I appreciate that. And yeah, I think a lot goes to show you what we see today and how our politicians treat us. You know. Anyway, I gotta go get the chainsaw out and start doing some chopping or some cutting on a tree, and then I'll see you all. Tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to be able to be here. We got an appointment that's going to overlap into the 10 o'clock time, so I'll have to catch you on Tuesday. WW5ENZ 73, everybody, and turn it back to Ned.
Any other last minute check-ins for the airport flyers from them? Please come down. Okay, here we go. We'll be closing the net now. Returning the frequency to normal and to you. Thank you very much.